right, it's 7 o'clock in Gardner, Kansas. Call the meeting to order. Please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone. All right, we have no presentations or public hearings, so we will move right to public comments. And members of the public are welcome to use this time to make comments about city matters or items on the agenda that are not part of a public hearing. If you wish to come forward, please limit your comments to 5 minutes or less. There is a 5-minute time clock to your left. A reminder, no profanity, no personal attacks. With that being said, come forward, state your name and address for the record, and the podium is now open. No one coming forward. We'll move to consent agenda. Is there an item on the consent agenda you'd like to be removed? To have a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion McNear, second Deaton. We approve the consent agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Consent agenda passes. No planning and zoning consent. We'll move right to committee recommendations. Number 1, consider adopting ordinance approving a rezoning from county RUR rural district to CP3 planned commercial, RP3 planned garden apartment, and RP5 planned apartment districts for potential commercial and residential development of 58.21 acres located at the southeast intersection of West 175th Street and Clare Road. Dave, you're looking awfully tan today.
Oh, I better go back then.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor, members of council. As introduced here, this is a proposal for development at the southeast corner of the intersection of 175th and Clare. It's approximately 58 acres. The proposal is to divide the area into 3 separate zoning districts, 22 acres of planned commercial, CP3 for commercial development, 6.8 acres to RP3 for either single family or duplex housing, and then 17.5 acres for RP5 apartments are being proposed in that area. That's per the associated development plan in your packet. You could see the diagrams for that development. This is being rezoned because when it was annexed, it retained its county zoning, which was RUR, rural residential. As you know, with our annexation agreements on things like this, the way the rezoning works is when we get a development proposal, we convert those into the city districts at that point in time. On January 18th, the Planning Commission held a public hearing at which the applicant and the staff spoke. The PC is recommending approval with 4 conditions, which are provided in your council action form. I will say that condition number 4, before this could be published, if you go ahead and approve of the ordinance, it has to go to the Johnson County Airport Commission as well as the county BOCC. So the publication of the ordinance will be held until after we get the report from those folks, and then it's published in the newspaper. That's all I have for you tonight. I stand ready for questions. The applicant is present if you have questions of them as well.
Thank you, Dave. Is there any public comment for committee recommendation number 1? Okay, council, any questions or comments? Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion Deaton, second Shoot, that we accept the recommendation of the Planning Commission and approve ordinance number 2793, an ordinance changing the zoning classification or districts of certain lands located in the city of Gardner, Kansas, under the authority granted by Title 17 of the Municipal Code of the city of Gardner, Kansas. Clerk.
Councilmember McNear.
Yes.
Councilmember Baldwin.
Yes.
Councilmember Deaton.
Yes.
Councilmember Ween.
Yes.
Councilmember Shute.
Yes. And Mayor has a vote as well.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's the one I was asking about.
Yeah.
Mayor.
Yes. Ordinance number 2793 passes. Welcome aboard. No old business, new business. Item number 1, consider accepting a voluntary annexation with landowner consent. I don't know, do you want to do the next 2 discussion at once?
I can. So this item is for consideration of a voluntary annexation with landowner consent. The property is adjacent to the current city boundary on the west end of 199th Street to I-35. Attached agreement outlines the terms agreed upon and are consistent with the direction of the governing body regarding annexation of rural properties in the city's planning and growth area east of I-35. So do you want me to just move to?
They're both kind of similar.
Okay, so the next property is adjacent to the previous property immediately to the west. Same terms and conditions. Staff recommends that you accept the voluntary consent annexation agreements from the two property owners identified within and adopt ordinance number 2794 for the first property and ordinance number 2795 for the second property.
Thank you, Jim. Is there any public comment on either new business item number 1 or 2? Council, do you have questions? All right. Do I hear a motion for new business item number 1?
So moved.
Second.
Motion Shute, second Deaton. We accept the voluntary consent annexation agreement from the property owners identified within and adopt ordinance number 2794, an ordinance annexing land to the city of Gardner, Kansas. City Clerk?
Is this one going on?
I don't believe so.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. Councilmember Baldwin,
Yes.
Councilmember Dean,
Yes.
Councilmember Ween,
Yes.
Councilmember Shute,
Yes.
Councilmember McNear.
Yes.
Ordinance number 2794 passes. Motion for new business item number 2.
So moved.
Second.
Motion Shute, second Deaton. We accept the voluntary consent annexation agreement from the property owners identified within and adopt ordinance number 2795, an ordinance annexing land to the city of Gardner, Kansas.
Councilmember Dean,
Yes.
Councilmember Ween,
Yes.
Councilmember Shute,
Yes.
Councilmember McNair,
Yes.
Councilmember Baldwin.
Yes.
Ordinance number 2795 passes. New business item number 3, consider adopting a resolution dissolving the citizen advisory committees.
As we discussed last month, the committees have not met on a consistent basis in the absence of allowable tasks and duties. The governing body discussed dissolving the committees and reached a consensus to do so, instead creating ad hoc committees to perform specific tasks as needed. Current advisory committee members, as well as other Gardner residents wishing to volunteer, will be given an opportunity to volunteer to serve on the ad hoc committees in the future. Proposed resolution dissolves the citizens advisory committees with the possibility of reforming either in their present or some other form on a project-by-project basis. Staff recommends adopting resolution 2136, dissolving the advisory committees, citizens advisory committees.
Thank you, Jim. Any public comment for new business item number 3? Council, any questions?
Just a comment. Since we were kind of, this was kind of near and dear to my heart to have the Citizens Advisory Committees and have them active. This is in no way trying to stop citizens from having an impact, from having an input. What it's doing is actually making it a little bit easier for us to be able to set up project-related committees so that folks can have a more relevant input into things that are going on in the city. So we're not going to be dissolving them completely. We're going to be reconvening them as the statute says, or as our resolution says, so that you can still have an impact in the community.
So staff will look for opportunities to do that.
Yes.
We already have one in mind for the downtown area, so.
Great. Thank you, Jim.
Sure.
Thanks, Steve.
Yep.
Any other questions or comments?
My only other comment is to thank everybody that has ever served on a
Yes.
committee over the last several years. I know, they didn't meet often, but the fact that you stood up, you volunteered, I appreciate it, and I hope that those citizens remain involved.
Absolutely. Here.
I just want to make a comment on it too. It was a great place to start serving our community. I served on EDAC a number of years ago, and that turned into the planning commission, which opened opportunities to run for city council. So it's been a good track to go from one step to the next. So it's been a good program.
Yes.
All right. Is there a motion for new business item number 3?
So moved.
Second.
Motion McNear, second Deaton. We adopt resolution 2136, resolution dissolving the citizen advisory committees. City Clerk.
Yes.
Councilmember Shute,
Yes.
Councilmember McNair,
Yes.
Councilmember Baldwin,
Yes.
Councilmember Dean.
Yes.
Resolution number 2136 passes. Moving on to new business item number 4, consider approving a contract to purchase real property.
So in May 2020, the city adopted the Gardner Destination Downtown Plan. Plan outlines a vision for the desired look and feel of the downtown area through development and public open spaces. The acquisition of property in the planning area was a key element of carrying out that vision. The purchase of this property is the first step in that process. Staff continues to seek out opportunities to acquire additional properties to further advance that plan. The $175,000 cost of this property will be paid from general fund. Staff recommends the city administrator approval to authorize the city administrator to execute the contract to purchase the property at 111 and 115 North Center. It is one residential property that's just divided in 2 parcels.
Thank you, Jim. Is there any public comment? New business item number 4? Okay. Council, you have a question?
As a follow-up, the other property that we have discussed will be brought before the council at the next meeting.
Okay. I was gonna ask that, but
Yeah.
thanks, Jim.
Is there a motion for new business item 4?
So moved.
Second.
Motion Shute, second McNair, that we authorize the city administrator to execute the contract to purchase the properties and close on the properties. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? New business item number 4 passes. All right. Got through that pretty quick. Thank you, Jen. So we'll move to council updates. We can start with Gons. Electricity.
Nothing tonight.
Dave, welcome back.
Well, thank you. Just real quickly, we will not have a planning commission meeting here in February. We had no items for the agenda, but we will have a meeting in March as regularly scheduled, so should be good there. Otherwise, it was a busy day coming back in, so we've got a lot going on.
Good. Good. Anything in Public Works?
Nothing tonight.
Captain Hayes?
Just a couple of things real quickly. Our 3 officers that were promoted to sergeant started their new assignments this week. Officer Marshall's now sergeant, along with Sergeant Weathers. And then as you can see in the back of the room, newly minted Sergeant Stuymates with all his beautiful gold gear on. So we're excited for them to get involved in that assignment and work on their training. And then we're just a week away from our external candidate that's taken a position as sergeant, Derek Gray. So a lot of new roles and new assignments, so a lot of excitement there in our building.
Great. Awesome. Good to hear. Congratulations. In the back. Anything further?
That's all I have.
City Clerk? Finance, Matt? City Attorney? City
So
Administrator?
I've had communication with a few council people about the fiber companies working within the utility easement, so I thought I'd discuss this a little bit in public. That process is dictated by state statute that gives them the ability to work in the utility easement. It's no different than if Evergy or Kansas Gas wants to work in the utility easement. Statute dictates that they have to return the ground to its functional equivalent, which is not the same as sodding and doing all those things, but the fiber companies have been great when we reach out to them about fixing things that we identify as deficiencies. What happens when a complaint comes in is we'll send an inspector out just to take a look, and if we see something that we think that can be fixed in a reasonable manner to return it to its functional equivalence, we will contact the contractor, and they've always fixed it. So as long as it's a reasonable request, then we've been able to take care of it. The fiber companies have been very responsive.
Hold on before you go. Is there something we should recommend for any citizen who might have, just contact the city or go through the portal or?
They can either contact the company, actually, it's probably best if they contact the company directly, and then if they don't get satisfaction from that, then contact the city and we'll follow up with them.
And if they don't have a point of contact for the company, they can just call Public Works and we will individually get back with them and let them know who to contact, and if they've already contacted, we'll kind of Because I do know, in my neighborhood, we've seen some settling, and it's not been an easy winter. So there might be some need for them to come back out and level or add some dirt, some backfill, something.
And I think all the companies fully expect when we get into watering season and things like that, there's going to be things that pop up. So just contact the company or.
It's also worth noting that the utility easement is not always between the street and the sidewalk.
No, sure.
So, okay.
Councilmember Shute,
Got nothing.
Councilmember McNair.
Good, nothing.
All right. Councilmember Wayne.
No, I'm good for tonight. Thank you.
Council Vice President.
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Council President.
I won't break that streak.
And I don't want to be a strict breaker either, so I've got nothing further. So is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
Motion, McNair, second Deaton, we adjourn, all in favor?
Aye.
All